In bombshell testimony during the Trump trial over the Stormy Daniels payment, Michael Cohen, the star witness for the prosecution, has admitted he stole $30,000 from the Trump organization, completely undermining the whole case, effectively proving Donald Trump is innocent, backing up the claims by Cohen's own lawyer, who testified that Cohen had no evidence against Trump, admitted to it, had even contemplated taking his own life. He has completely destroyed anything he said. Cohen, with this admission that he stole this is insane, absolutely insane. The argument, of course, from Cohen is that Costello's testimony was that he really did have evidence against Donald Trump back in 2018, and the only reason he didn't present it was because he was being loyal to Donald Trump, when in fact he was stealing from Trump in the first place. This is a break in the whole case. The money that Donald Trump is paying out to Cohen, that Cohen is claiming, is for Stormy Daniels, when we know that he was actually lying in his invoices and stealing money for Trump. This means when they claim Trump was actually reimbursing Cohen with these invoices, we know for a fact Michael Cohen was putting fake numbers in there and pocketing the rest. That's amazing. I can't believe it. It's like it's day one of the defense of their case for Donald Trump, and we know it is all a lie. I'm going to break this down for you, but ladies and gentlemen, this is ripping to shreds the entire case. Anybody paying attention knew from the beginning this was fake news. Fareed Zakaria, CNN, saying outright, this is CNN. This case would not be brought against someone whose name was not Donald Trump. To clarify with the double negatives, they're only bringing this case because it is Donald Trump. That is CNN saying that. MSNBC legal analysts saying, we don't even understand the crime here. A misdemeanor beyond the statute of limitations being brought against Trump for some federal elections violation, which the FEC and the DOJ says does not exist. And now Cohen's like, yeah, actually, the invoice I sent in, I was just stealing the money. Are you kidding me? I am beyond, this is amazing, by the way, but I am livid. I beg and I hope and I pray that we get an executive branch that will hold these people accountable. They should criminally charge Michael Cohen immediately now that we have uncovered he stole this money. Now, to be fair, this may have been known to the Trump administration a while ago. I don't know if it's been known to the prosecutors, but how Cohen did not go to jail for grand larceny is beyond me. I mean, he faked an invoice to the Trump organization to steal 30 grand. We got to break this one down. Because this, like, everything Cohen is saying is a lie. Look at this. CNBC, here we go, baby. Michael Cohen admits he stole from the Trump organization in testimony. This is CNBC reporting. Michael Cohen, the former fixer and personal lawyer for Donald Trump, admitted during cross-examination Monday that he stole from Trump's company by holding on. Are you kidding me, NBC? To money given to him that should have gone to a tech contractor. Quote, you did steal from the Trump organization, correct? Trump's lawyer Todd Blanche asked Cohen. Yes, sir. Cohen pocketed $30,000 of the $50,000 he received from the Trump organization and then gave about $20,000 to the tech firm Red Finch, which previously worked for the Trump organization. He testified Manhattan Supreme Court. Cohen said that although Red Finch's owner would have preferred getting the full $50,000 he was owed, he was placated for the time being, the former fixer testified. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the bombshell. Share this story, but be it my video or anyone, just let people know. Share the links. This is undermining the entire case. There's no crime. Trump did nothing wrong. Cohen was lying on his invoices. I'll give you the breakdown because we've got the testimony from Cohen's own lawyer, Robert Costello. Michael Cohen thought that by paying Stormy Daniels off of his own volition, by taking out a home equity loan, which he's confirmed, would earn him the good graces of Trump. Now, why would he need to do that? Could it be that he stole 30 grand and they knew and he couldn't get away with it? What did Cohen do that resulted in him being pushed out of Trump's inner circle? Why was Trump's own lawyer not a part of his administration? Paints an interesting picture. How about this? Michael Cohen stole money from Trump. I don't know the time frame on this, but look at the character of the man. He was stealing from Trump. He decides Stormy Daniels has got this accusation. I'm going to take care of it. For some reason, takes out a home equity loan, didn't want his wife to find out, and then bills the Trump organization. I tell you this. You know what this proves? This proves right now that Trump paying legal invoices, he does not know that Michael Cohen was ripping him off. Or at the very least, it shows why Cohen was desperate to get into Trump's good graces. In the event the Trump organization found out and knew beforehand that Cohen was lying on invoices and stealing money, it explains why Cohen was trying to earn Trump's good graces, because he was in the doghouse. But I don't know that that makes sense, actually. I think it makes perfect sense that the Trump organization had no idea Cohen was sending in false invoices, which kind of shows Trump had nothing to do with the reimbursement. Cohen took out a home equity loan to pay off Stormy Daniels and then thought to himself, I'll just lie in the invoices, I'll get all the money back, and none's the wiser. No one will know. This is dirty, dirty stuff. They say Cohen's a key witness. Prosecutors have said Cohen will be their last witness in the trial. Blanche is expected to wrap up his cross-examination on Monday. It is not clear if they will call Trump to the witness stand. Defense attorneys hedged last week when Judge Juan Merchan asked if they would call any defense witnesses to testify. Trump told a reporter last month, I would testify, absolutely. Merchan earlier Monday told prosecutors, the former president's attorneys, that closing arguments in the case will be held on May 28th, the day after Memorial Day. It has become apparent that we are not going to sum up tomorrow, Merchan said as Trump looked on. The judge last week had told both sides to be ready to give their summations Tuesday. But Merchan on Monday said he wanted to avoid a multi-day lag between closing arguments and the start of deliberations. The trial is off this Wednesday and Friday and would have a half day on Thursday due to a juror's scheduling conflict. Before entering the courtroom Monday, Trump told reporters, it looks like we're going to have a very big gap between days. We know what the case is. This is bomb drop moments, ladies and gentlemen. This is TV drama. We got this tweet from Charlie Kirk. Shout out Charlie Kirk. Michael Cohen has just admitted to stealing $30,000 from the Trump organization upon cross-examination from Todd Blanche. He admitted he was reimbursed $50,000 for IT services when he only paid $20K, pocketing the rest. What was the other $30K for? When we're looking at him paying off Stormy Daniels, and they're trying to claim Trump was involved, but Cohen was sending in fake invoices to Trump. And I called this out 2 weeks ago. What did I say, ladies and gentlemen? I have worked for companies where contractors send in invoices well after their contract has expired, hoping the company just pays out. And this is what we are seeing. It looks like this is exactly what just happened. Cohen knew that they weren't going to analyze the hours and the nitty-gritty because it's a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar organization, and they don't got time. This is how it works, and it's crazy. Contractors will know if they're dealing with massive companies with tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars. They'll say, look, you send in an invoice for 10 grand, they'll probably just pay it. It's easier than dealing with whatever it's all about. We got a lawyer. Send us your legal bills. We pay it. Wild stuff. Kirk says, for those keeping score, Cohen has said repeatedly he wants Trump in jail. He sells merch with pictures of Trump behind bars. He told his former legal advisor, Bob Costello, he'd do anything to stay out of jail. Cohen also admitted to paying Stormy Daniels to win favor from Trump after he wasn't appointed COS or AG during the first Trump administration, chief of staff. Now he's admitted to outright larceny, grand larceny. Let me make sure I have this right. I'm pretty sure it's grand larceny. Yep. Grand larceny is valued over $1,000 in New York. This is grand larceny. Cohen is a lying, thieving rat in the state of New York, along with Matthew Colangelo, Biden's former senior DOJ official, decided it was worth turning America into a banana republic based on this guy. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a historic moment. This is going to be one of those big moments they write about. Cohen admitting he was sending false invoices to steal from the Trump organization. This case is insane. Let's go back here. Let me tell you about what's really going on, because we've got this story from The Blaze. Costello. This is it. Cohen accused Costello and Rudy Giuliani of conspiring to obstruct justice by tampering with a witness, namely Michael Cohen. The story which they were floating at the time was that we had dangled a pardon under Michael Cohen's nose in order to keep him quiet so he wouldn't testify against Donald Trump. He explained that he met with 2 assistant U.S. attorneys and 2 FBI agents, detailed his entire history with Cohen. I explained the many, many lies that Cohen told us. Virtually every statement he made about me was another lie. What he tries to do is he cherry picks certain emails or text messages and tries to make them look like something else. Here's the clip on X. Listen to this.
Through further cross-examination, Cohen told me that he knew there was money missing from the Trump inauguration.
Yes. I see where you are now. Thank you.
Okay. And then on the next page, into that first paragraph, Cohen decided that while he didn't believe the allegation of the Stormy Daniels story, that he thought the story would be embarrassing for Trump and especially for Melania, so he decided he would take care of it himself.
Absolutely. And that is contrary to what this guy testified to in court in New York yesterday.
Well, and what's not being talked about is your next paragraph, like the reason and his motivation for that. So if you could just kind of walk through that for the committee.
Yeah, obviously, when we started to talk about the NDAs, and this is the very first meeting at the Regency Hotel, when, by the way, Rudy Giuliani was not involved in representing Donald Trump at that time. Cohen testified that it was a conspiracy between Giuliani and Costello as of this date. Totally false. In any event, he also said that he didn't discuss the Stormy Daniels matter with us, and he certainly did. I specifically asked him because he kept on going back saying, I can't believe they're trying to put me in jail for these NDAs. So I said, Michael, tell me about the NDA. Tell me about Stormy Daniels. What did you do? He said, I got a call from a lawyer representing Stormy Daniels who represented that she was going to testify that Donald Trump had sex with Stormy Daniels. Michael Cohen said, I didn't believe the allegation, but I knew that such an allegation would be terribly embarrassing. He said it would be embarrassing. He focused on Melania Trump. He said, I didn't want to embarrass Melania Trump. He said, that's why I decided to take care of this on my own. Right. I went back to that several times. You did this on your own? On my own. Did Donald Trump have anything to do with it? No. Did you get the money from Donald Trump? No. From any of his organizations? No. From anybody connected to Donald Trump? No. Where did you get the money? I took out a HELOC loan against my property. I said, why would you do that? He said, I didn't want anybody to know where I got this money. I didn't want Melania to know. I didn't want my own wife to know because she's in charge, he said, of the Cohen family finances. He said, if she saw money coming out of my account, she'd ask me 100 questions, and I didn't want to answer any of them. It was clear after talking to him for several days after that, whenever we talked on the phone or in my office, that he kept on bringing up the subject that he felt he was betrayed by not being brought down to Washington, D.C. This guy thought, he said to me, that he should have been Attorney General of the United States, or at least the chief assistant to the president. Ludicrous, but that's what he thought. And he was very angry about that. He wanted to do something to put himself back into the inner circle of Donald Trump. That's why he took care of this on his own. There had to be a motivation. Michael Cohen is always working for things that benefit himself. And that's what he was doing here. That's completely different to what he said that he told the grand jury. That's completely different to what he's testifying to in New York. Nobody has heard this side of the equation.
Right.
Absolutely amazing stuff. So this is what we know. And we have this. This is Politico. They reported this on May 16th. A potential Trump defense witness uses off day to savage Michael Cohen. They go on to say it's unclear how his testimony came together. I had a brief conversation, blah, blah, blah. They may bring in Costello as a defense witness. Costello told lawmakers that Cohen was absolutely manic when they met in April 2018, pacing back and forth like a tiger in a cage. Costello said Cohen had told him that only 2 days earlier he had been on the roof of the Regency Hotel, seriously considering jumping off, committing suicide because he couldn't handle the pressure of the legal problems he saw coming his way. Costello said he repeatedly asked Cohen whether he had any evidence that would incriminate Trump and if that he were looking for an escape route from prosecution. Providing that evidence to investigators would be his easiest path. He said Cohen repeatedly denied having any evidence connecting Trump to criminal activity. This is amazing. He was thinking of ending himself. Costello said he kept pressing this point. Isn't it easier to cooperate against Donald Trump than, we'll use some euphemism, take your own life? He recalled saying. But Cohen said he had none. During Tuesday's testimony, prosecutors anticipated that the conversation between Cohen and Costello might come up. Cohen testified that he never told Costello the extent of his knowledge about Trump because he was attempting to be loyal to his former boss. Loyal? He stole $30,000 from Trump. He was sending in fake invoices. He's confirmed that. Who in their right mind would believe this guy cared about loyalty at all? No, this guy was in it for himself. He wanted Trump. He wanted to maintain the perception that he was a good guy doing good things. He wanted Trump to keep him around. Why? Cohen was stealing from him. Cohen didn't want to kill the goose that laid the golden egg. He knew that so long as he's in with Donald Trump and working as his lawyer, he can send in these bunk invoices and steal money. That's what he was doing. They say also because he had doubts about Costello's motivations. Cohen also said he never formally hired Costello as his lawyer for that reason as well. But Costello told lawmakers that he was Cohen's attorney for 2 months in 2018, a claim echoed by congressional Republicans who amplified Costello's testimony. Rep. Dan Goldman, a former federal prosecutor from Manhattan, took Costello to task, they say. I think you're in the wrong place. You know that coming down here outside of that courtroom while the witness is on the stand, trying to impeach his credibility in his testimony is jury tampering. You know it is unethical. You know better, and it is shameful. Tampering? He didn't go to the jury. He's speaking as someone who's directly involved, and he should be speaking. He should be pointing this stuff out because it is clear now. It is clear as day to anybody who's paying attention, the big picture. Everybody who liked Trump was biased against this already. Okay, you like Trump, you're a Trump supporter. You're going to come on, you're going to be like, this is a ridiculous case. What's going on? But you look at the actual facts of it, and this is the big challenge, for me and for many others. I don't need to support Trump to know this is bunk. And if you're a moderate, not even a Trump supporter, and you look at the facts of this case, once again, you find yourself in this box of stop making me defend Trump. You look at the Burisma case. You look at the lies, the manipulations. You remember when Trump was with Shinzo Abe of Japan, feeding the koi fish. The camera zooms in, cropping it on Trump as he dumps the food into the pond, and everyone insults him and makes fun of him, and they lie about him. In the full frame that wasn't manipulated by these journalists, Shinzo Abe dumped the food first, and Trump followed suit. And they acted like he was doing something wrong. The very fine people hoax, the injecting bleach hoax, they lie every step of the way. And now they've bet it all on Michael Cohen, a man who has now admitted under oath to stealing $30,000 from Donald Trump. What could you do with $30,000, right? What could you? I've heard stories of assassins, right? They have these videos where a guy will show up in a motel room talking to a woman, and they're talking way less than this. And then the cops bust in and they catch the guy and like, you're under arrest. A woman. Or like the hitman is actually a cop and the woman's like, I've got it out for my husband. How much? And they're like, 10 grand. $30,000. 30. For a lot of people, that's like a yearly salary. I think the median salary in this country is like 60-something thousand. I don't think that's fair because you're basically counting in all the millionaires and billionaires and then finding a median. Nah. It's an insane amount of money. And you're someone like Cohen living in, what has he got, like a $5 million condo in a Trump building? He still lives there, apparently. He didn't want to get the boot from the Trump inner circle because he was stealing from it. They decided to bring a criminal case against Donald Trump that anybody now can see, that anybody honest would tell you is fake. It's beyond the statute of limitations. It is a misdemeanor. They upgraded it's falsifying business records. They upgraded to a felony under the pretense that Trump violated some campaign finance law by paying off Stormy Daniels. And now we know Cohen was falsifying invoices. No reasonable jury could convict Donald Trump. But my friends, we are talking about New York City. And I fear that these people, many of them, are simply going to say, we want Donald Trump in prison. I think the prosecutors, they're going to give their closing statement, which they say will come the Tuesday after Memorial Day. And they're going to say, the prosecutors are going to look at the jury and say, think about everything you know about Donald Trump from this trial. Think about everything everyone has said about this man in this trial. Think about everything you know should be done. And of course, the implication is not in the trial. The implication is the closing argument's going to be, please, this is our chance. Lock him up. Jury, you can do it now. They're going to say this. They're going to say Trump is a deeply corrupt man, and you've heard it here in this courtroom. And you have a chance here today to hold him accountable for everything you've heard he's done in this trial. I wonder. Though they say it takes only one juror. And in New York, just this past weekend, we saw this rally for Trump in the Bronx. There may be some people on this jury who say, this man's not going to prison for this. But we'll see. I imagine it will only get worse for Cohen and the Democrats who are pushing this fraudulent trial. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.